GM Farcaster. It is Monday, August 26th, and you are here with Nownish Prof and Adrian for 29 minutes of Farcaster news to start your day. GM Adrian, how was your weekend?
Good morning. Happy Monday. As I was telling you in our little green room, my poor son was sick all weekend, so it was like he's fine. No one, but
Yeah.
It was like we had a nice chill family weekend.
Well, that's good. I mean, chill family
Yeah.
weekend's good, but I'm sorry that he's not feeling well. So hopefully he is better today. I feel like the doldrums of summer, like the dog days of summer, not the doldrums, the dog days of summer. We're at the end here. We're about to head into Labor Day weekend. And I feel like everybody's a little quiet, ish. Then things perked up, but we'll blame Valco later. So it's been a little.
Were we blaming?
We're blaming Valco. Oh, you don't know who Valco is.
Valco is. Nah.
Scared
to ask.
You will. Don't worry. You will. You will in just
Okay.
a moment. You will in just a moment. You might have missed this. 1 second. I gotta share this. And my weekend was pretty quiet, nothing too exciting. Worked on a lot of stuff, and one of those things that we'll talk about later, but because we have a little preview of something to come. But first, here was Matthew's little comment here that I found kind of funny, actually. So he said, "What did I miss? Back from camping in Yosemite for the weekend with no service. What did I miss?" And some of these answers, were just asking him about. But then I love this from Brad Q. Nothing crazy. Telegram guy arrested in France. Base names exploded. Cassie is getting ready to launch some crazy decentralized Discord do everything thing. Moxie stuff happened. Okay, you're caught up. So thanks, Brad. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Does Brad want a job? Does Brad want a job?
Brad, that was pretty good. Brad's a Nownish friend of mine, as a matter of fact. But yeah, that pretty much summed it up. So thanks for that. And moving on, we have a few other things going on. So the first thing that was mentioned in there is Pavel Duvrov. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Was arrested in France upon his arrival to Paris. And Horsefacts, yikes, French chat, is this real? Yes, actually, it is real. So Pavel Duvrov, arrested in France. This is the founder of Telegram. And he was apparently, there's still information coming out. But my understanding is this is in relation to lack of effort to moderate Telegram in regards to illegal activity. So that's my understanding. But more to come on that. And how is this related to anything we do here? It's because a lot of people in crypto use Telegram. So still probably one of the biggest messaging apps for our community at the moment. So very interesting. We'll see what happens. But that was about it on that part. And then this from Phil, which I thought was very interesting. Based on the news of Pavel's arrest today, I took the time to visit his Telegram channel. His writing history in the channel displays a clarity of thinking and commitment to transparency that is admirable. Here's the most recent post from August 14th. Hopefully it is not the last one ever. So kind of interesting. Oh, did I not have it on the screen?
Oh,
about that?
did I get the wrong one?
No, we're good. No, you're good.
All right.
You're good the right time. Yeah, you're fine. It's this one. Oops, there we go. Makes us bigger. Okay. So that was pretty interesting. So thanks for sharing that, Phil. This from Dan, in case you were wondering, because I know you all were. Personal update. I won't be at Burning Man this year. And then somebody asking, is this a joke? Yes, actually it is. For those who don't know, it might be new to Dan's sense of humor. Every once in a while, when there's a conference, everybody asks him if he's going to said conference. So he casts, I will not be at name said conference here. Consensus, ETH Denver, all those things. And so this was pretty funny. I thought it was funny. Dan, I like your sense of humor. Others may disagree.
We might see. My guess is Rand might show up at Burning Man.
Oh, you know what? I bet you Rand is
He's
a Burning Man kind of guy. He seems like it. Or girl. That seems like it. I think that's
but guy.
a guy. But also guy. Definitely guy. This from B. HeroCast analytics page is really good. I have yet to use HeroCast, but I have been hearing lots of really good things, and I would agree. This is a pretty good analytics page. So good to know. If you're looking for better analytics, if you're looking for better analytics, Farcaster, check out HeroCast. It seems like an opportunity for another analytics page. So there you go. And then this also from V. Here's an idea for a Farcaster startup. And by the way, I'm going to need you to explain this to me.
Sure.
Sell labels for Farcaster accounts. Accounts can have multiple labels: airdrop farmer, on-chain transactor. Labels can be either binary or a confidence score. Don't know what that means. Warpcast would pay to use this service if you did a good job. By labels, I don't mean generic stuff like proof of human, which is largely uninteresting. Labels should be valuable to a specific company building on Farcaster. For example, on-chain spender, useful to anyone launching a mint; geopolitics caster, useful for Warpcast feed algorithms; automated account, etc. Other mistake people make is trying to gigabrain it by automating fully or applying LLMs. This is really, really hard and unlikely to work. Start by manually labeling with heuristics and sell the data. If it's working, try to develop a basic ML model using some common features. Other mistake people make is trying to put it on chain. This is a bad idea because on chain is harder to use than REST API. Labels change often and revoking on chain is hard. People get mad when you take away something you gave them. Okay. So what does he mean by labels? Like, what is this? Just like a thing that would be in the background that people could tap into? Or okay,
that apps and companies and builders could tap into. So it's one of these kind of data companies where someone can kind of focus on the back end, do all sorts of labeling on accounts, and then sell that data to Merkle or Supercast or anyone building on top of Farcaster or advertisers, right? So it's just a data. It's a data company.
I was thinking about that from the advertiser perspective. I can definitely see that making sense. But I just didn't, I wasn't fully following from the technical perspective, but I did think it was interesting that V went through all of that to sort of like basically guerrilla idea guy there.
I think it's clearly something that would be valuable to them, and kind of a cool example.
And they don't want to build it, or they don't have time.
And they've talked about kind of, yes, they've raised money and they could, but it takes away focus. So throwing it out to the community and saying, here's an opportunity for something useful that people would likely pay for is kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So that I thought was really interesting that he went through that whole process of basically laying out exactly what the specs would be and what the needs are. So interesting. But I didn't fully understand it. So I was like, am I getting this right? I'm not sure. This was from Robin. Lovely conversation and strong and song selection by Light and Sheepbangs. Their voices were made for radio. Gave me a meaningfully new appreciation for being on chain and aiming higher. So this was in regards to the launch of Higher FM, which went live this past Saturday. And you can check it out at ufo.fm and then go to the Higher FM channel, or just check out Higher FM on Warpcast for links. But you can hear the recording there as well. So awesome. Congratulations, Chic. We love you. It was really cool. Did you get a chance to listen at all?
I listened live because I needed to get the full radio experience. Like
it was so good. It was so good. I was really impressed with how well she did with that, and it was amazing. So loved
You felt
it.
like you were
Very
in like a
fun.
little studio, like a radio
Yeah.
room. It was super cool. By the way, UFO has an interesting UI design, being radio. So when you go to hit play,
Yeah.
it's as if it's a, like a live broadcast. I was looking to see like how long is this show I'm about to listen to? Is it 10 minutes? Is it
Yeah.
40 minutes? And it doesn't actually tell you. It just, and it kind of really gave, and you can go in and actually now listen back. So there is the recording there, like a podcast.
Right.
But I
Which
love
is great.
listening live.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't telling me. It was just like you're just here tuning into a broadcast. So it was giving strong radio vibes, which I loved.
Yeah, that was really fun. I loved the way in which it was edited, like the mix of all the different like with the music and then the talking and the back and forth. And it definitely gave me old school radio vibes. I was like, do you remember Delilah by any chance? You probably don't. Delilah was
Okay,
like
so was Delilah like
Delilah.
was it an evening like love
Yes.
show, like love
Yes.
songs? People would call
Yes.
in and request love songs
Exactly. Yes.
or like
That's
dedicate
exactly.
them to people.
Yes.
Like, yeah,
Yes. Yes, the dedications. Exactly. So really like and not that it was giving me that vibe, but I was having like that memory is what I would say. Of that like, whole thinking there. Um so that was really good and I was super impressed. I'm like in the background fixing things, by the way. Super impressed with like Chic is so good. Like she just did a fantastic job and I know she's been a radio DJ before and this is like her thing. But she really brought it and I was so impressed. So great job. Great job, Chic. So I'm looking forward to Saturdays now. It's gonna be like my little thing.
totally.
So it's exciting. This from Base Names. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm basically going through Brad's little list things and adding a couple things in. Base names. Don't have a base name yet. Claim your base name in a frame. So this is pretty cool. Nice, easy way to do it. Love when they put things in a frame. We love a frame. And this also related your on-chain score. So if once you claim a base name, it sets up this little site for you and tells you all kinds of stuff. Mine did not seem accurate. So I think it's missing something isn't directly connected, but it was still like, I don't know, 80 or something like that. But it didn't like, I'm like, something's not right here because certain things weren't connecting properly. So, but this is becoming a thing now. Your on-chain score, so much so that Gabriel Haynes has now. I'm not even gonna. I'm not turning the volume on for this. Go check it out yourself. Like just go.
Good, because then we'll have to hit the explicit language box.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. So
family show. We're a
for
family
those
show.
who may not be familiar with Gabriel, this is the machete guy who just runs around sometimes with machete talking about crypto. Nobody knows why. But he basically said if you're on Farcaster and your score isn't 95, like you're doing something wrong. So
Hi, I'm doing something wrong then.
I'm doing something wrong, but also I think something's wrong. But I do get his point that probably if you are on Farcaster, there's a good chance that you spend a lot of time online. You spend a lot of time on chain.
Online or on chain?
Not online.
Yeah.
On
Okay.
chain. On chain.
I tried to get and curious to everyone, did everyone get their score and throw in the chat what your score was? I tried to get my score on Saturday in the yes,
yeah.
and the website was lagging for me. My guess is because Brian Armstrong tweeted it.
That would do it.
And everyone tried hitting it.
Yeah.
Prof, I have an idea for what I wanted to do maybe as a bounty, and I'll tease it, but into the data. And I want to know everybody who holds a GM Farcaster Hypersub, what their on-chain score is.
Ooh, that's interesting.
And I want to give that to our sponsors. Sorry, little build in public. But I have this thesis that our audience is the most sophisticated on-chain native people, and I want to prove that. So I might have to do a bounty for that.
We could definitely do some degen tips on that too. So I've still got a ton. Yeah, that
And
sounds
by the
like
way,
a good
if your
idea.
number is not 95, like it's okay. That's not your worth as a human being.
That would
It's
be a
okay.
good, we could do a little frame form. Yeah, that would be good. Yes, it is okay. We still love you because it's not your worth. Just want,
And
once
people have
again,
different wallets. Like not everyone has all their on-chain
yeah,
activity on one
that's
wallet and,
one
yada,
issue that
yada,
I
yada.
have. Yep. But also, yes, you're not, your on-chain score is not your worth. Let's be very clear about that. Definitely, definitely not your worth. Yes, we're going to kick you out.
No.
No, Miriam, we will never. By the way, Miriam, we'll never kick you out ever, 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 ever.
You have a hyper sub, you're automatically scored high enough.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like
I mean,
trust me,
you
my
have
score
to
was
be.
not that high. I got a C.
Um,
Okay.
okay, so let's go to the thing we're probably going to spend the rest of the time on. Okay, Valco. So Valco casted this on, no, sorry, he tweeted it on Twitter. Real talk, why aren't you using Farcaster? And it got quite a few replies, like 138 replies. By the way, easiest way to, no, I probably shouldn't say this. This is a bad idea. As soon as you start talking about Farcaster on Twitter, really good engagement farming technique is what I've seen.
But no
So
Moxie earning.
no, you don't earn any Moxie for it, but you can get a lot of views. So Valco, who I do know, does have a great, just side note, does have a great newsletter. So if you want to know exactly what's going on in the industry in 3 minutes, great newsletter. So sign up for it there. Anyway, the replies in here were really interesting. And for 2 reasons. One, there were actually 3 reasons. One, there were some really useful things in here, like that people, it sort of, some of it was things you already know. And some of it was people pointing out like, hey, I just had too much friction. I churned, and it might be that it was a while ago. It could be that it's very recent. I'm trying to use 2 accounts and it's a pain. Yes, it is. So there was some really valid feedback in there. There was also some folks on Farcaster sort of defending or, saying, hey, no, I'm there every day. And that actually helped me find new people to follow. So that was really helpful. And then there was just some general shit posting, which we'll get to in just a moment. But I thought this was from Downshift, really good summary of it. So I read every reply in this tweet from Valco. Most common responses: too dev tech heavy, too ETH centric, bad user experience, especially for newbies, shouting into the void, my friends aren't there, boring, couldn't pay with crypto or required phone number to sign up. So I thought like that aspect of it, super, super helpful. So that was really interesting. And, but then there was some other things happening. So, let's see. And Ivy kind of brought, like, this is where I first saw this conversation happening. The latest gender kerfuffle, which is a whole new phrase that I had never said before. And this is from Proxy, which this is a shitpost. It was a great opportunity to get back into the classic hobby enjoyed by many guys having opinions about women online. So thanks, Proxy. But this was from Ivy. With regard to the latest gender kerfuffle, by the way, there were some people who didn't know what WRT was, so that was useful learning there. Some people learned that in this particular thread. WRT, the latest gender kerfuffle. I think Proxy Studio said it best here. I am once again asking you to remember how Farcaster looks to a random woman on Twitter or elsewhere is not how it looks to us. My suspicion is that people's viewpoints here are really skewed due to group chats. And this was part of Proxy's newsletter. Having women on your app isn't a matter of, do you have human women using your app? It's a vibe. Our vibe is product feedback. It's extremely wealthy ex-Coinbase founders arguing about communism with random users. It's board.eth popping back in after a few months of post raising some ungodly sum for a meme token that went to zero and saying, what's up? What did I miss? I thought that was kind of funny, but there was a really
Yeah, there's
good.
a lot of a lot of things behind those few words, like a few
A
sentences,
lot of
but
things.
a lot to unpack, Proxy.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was really interesting. And then so me trying to figure out from that what the heck the gender kerfuffle was. It took me a minute, but then we found it. It was in regards to this. So, I think I have this up already. Oh, hold on. That's useful information, actually. So, Maria MP had quote tweeted the Valco Real Talk, why aren't you using Farcaster, with the comment, because I like talking to girls on the internet, sort of saying that, there are no women on Farcaster. By the way, it helped to know that she's affiliated with Lens. So I didn't realize that when I was first reading this, and I was like, this seems really weird. But that information was super useful to put this in perspective. And there was a bit of a kerfuffle, if you will, with Heavyweight and MP. So I'm not going to get into the whole thing. We don't want to give it too much oxygen, but bottom line was apparently lenses for girls is apparently a thing. Didn't realize that. So I take all of that discussion with a grain of salt, because there's clearly a financial motivation for, shit posting about Farcaster there. So, okay, that's fine. But there's a lot in that chat, and you all can go and make your own judgment on this and read it for yourself. But I think where Heavyweight went wrong, Erica, I believe your issue was that you were trying to have an intelligent and nuanced conversation over on Twitter. That is where you went wrong. You forgot you were on Farcaster. That's what
It's
happened.
like when what happens when a shit post meets an earnest reply, the shit post doubles down. I mean,
Yeah.
this is the classic, people are talking about like, we're
Yeah.
running that experiment. We on the Merkel team, a collective we.
Collective we.
No, when I did this. So Merkel's running an experiment of cross-posting popular accounts, like whatever you're posting on Twitter. And some people like it, but there's been some like some complaints, like what works on Twitter doesn't work on Farcaster. It's like people want to post differently. And I think this is like a classic example of like when there's subtle differences, and ship posts don't work as well on Farcaster. We're not used to it. We want to have like real conversations. We want to kind of go human to human. And I don't know where Erica went wrong. I think she did a lovely, lovely job of showcasing
Like
our values.
The only thing she did wrong was trying to have a like nuanced conversation over on Twitter. I think that was the only place she went wrong, because that was not the intention of that post. But I was, there for like, I thought she did an incredible job of like saying, hey, there's actually a lot of women over here. And also, like, I don't think we should be like, if your marketing strategy is to shit on other women on other platforms to get them to come over to yours, that's not a good strategy. But whatever. Like, you do you. You do you. But I've found in my years in crypto, been here since 2017, in and out, and between the 200 discords, crypto Twitter, and any other, and Telegram and all the things, I have met more women on Farcaster. So take that for what it's worth. And also very intelligent women who are incredible builders in the space. So I do think in terms of like Valco's original tweet, there were some really good points in there. And if you're not a builder, if you're not building, especially on the super chain, if you're building on the super chain and you're not on Farcaster, like, you're missing a lot. Like, so that's who right now is probably going to be most attracted to Farcaster, which I understand that. So, but beyond that, I can understand why some people aren't going to take the time to sign up for yet another social media if that's what you think it is. And I get that, because I have zero interest in going and signing up for Lens. Like, I'm sure it's a lovely place and there's lovely people there, but like, Like, I don't have a lot of time in my day. So I get that feeling completely. I understand it.
Yeah, well, you don't have an unmet need and time is scarce. So
That's a
it'd
much
be interesting
that's a
to
much clearer way to say what I said. Thank you.
if you
That's
had an unmet
exactly
need, you'd be search for other alternatives, and but I would love to also try them. I don't, and my needs are met right now. The
yeah.
only thing I say is I just, one, I do think it's good to know where people are affiliated because,
Yeah.
we all have our biases and kind of we're all coming from a different point of view. I don't know if it's as, like,
There was my snark.
specific as my marketing strategy is to shit on Farcaster. I think it's just, oh, I shit posting works well on Twitter and
Yes.
someone's asking about Farcaster. I don't spend a lot of time there or whatever. I'm going to make a joke and people are going to laugh at it and it
Yeah.
will make me feel good.
Yeah. I think that was exactly what was going on. And then Erica was like, I need to have a good, I'm just making some good points. And I feel bad. And you were. And so anyway, Erica, we see you doing the work out there. And this
And
was
just shout
from
out.
oh,
I just
good.
like I really do think Erica like just handled it with complete grace and intelligence, and it was like it didn't devolve
Totally.
into like a just a shit throwing match. And in a DM with Erica, or in a chat, one of the things she said after a few hours, she goes, "You know what? Time to get back to work." She's
Yeah.
like, "I've got actual
I
work
ain't
to do.
got
I'm
time
going
for
back to building."
no
And I was
time
like,
for this. Yeah. Yeah,
I was like,
exactly.
and that's yeah, welcome to Farcaster. Just go
Yeah.
build.
Yeah, just go build. And I think that's a very different energy than and I don't know. I'd love for somebody who's on both Lens and Farcaster, who's like a regular user of both, to like could probably speak more to this. But I don't know like what the vibe is there, if it's a big builder vibe too, but it just might be a very different vibe. So
Yeah,
I don't
Yes to Crypto tried Lens
know.
and
Okay.
offered an AMA. So,
Oh, okay.
but
All
it
right.
sounds like you tried a year ago and not active. And just like Farcaster, vibes are constantly probably changing everywhere. So,
Very much so. Yeah.
yeah,
So I think that's a good point, and I think that was, definitely and, like, that's an issue, like, of you have to come and try again, and I think there's a lot of times where, like, again, nobody has time for that. So it's, you might try it once and that's it, and, you move on. So that's the problem with the churn and making sure people have a really good first experience, and that's on the Merkle team at the moment, so we'll get there. Couple other things. I loved this from Android 16. I think the FC community is stronger because it's earnest. When you're a smallish group, treating interactions with good faith strengthens the group, and that's how you grow and become a bigger group. People arrive for the good energy. X is world scale. There's not much growth left, so the vibe is ironic and kind of just what we said, and hence toxic. But this was heavyweights. This is in regards to heavyweights comment. Haven't been on X in months. Go there today because people were saying there's no women on Farcast, and I was like, oh my God, hey, I'm there, and all these other amazing women too. And now somehow I have been villainized by another woman for saying it's fair. I don't think it's fair or helpful to say there's no women on Farcaster. I fucking hate X. So we feel you. We feel you. Every time I go over there, I'm like, why am I here? I do have a quick apology to Jeff Goldberg. Jeff, I see you in there. I was good. I had this queued up for you. I thought he was being snarky because I had yet to see the whole because I like talking to girls on the internet thing, so I didn't know the reference, and then I realized he was just having fun. So I'm sorry, Jeff. I was like, Jeff, come on. Come on, Jeff. We thought we were getting better. So, Jeff, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. A few other
this
fun
is
things.
why, right? This is what causes people to spend 24 hours a day on the internet because God forbid you miss seconds and then you're out on the joke and then you
Yeah,
feel stupid.
exactly. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, damn, I feel dumb. So sorry, Jeff. This from Cassie is getting ready to launch Equilibrium finally. So this is a really nice cast from her years ago when I started building a decentralized Discord clone. people asked me why. I wanted a communication tool that was truly decentralized in a way that no state actor was able to gain control over. Signal's design wasn't capable of a group chat beyond a certain size. The features only went so far, and it has failure points such that countries block them by firewall or have to rely on good graces of others to run proxies, which ultimately get shut down or blocked too. App stores do not share this ideal. Their concern is profit and will bend backwards when forced to by regulatory bodies. Amazon and others are complicit in helping state actors maintain their control of the web and are profiting handsomely from the arrangement. None of this happened by accident, and I only saw it getting worse. I realized what I was building in this chat application went beyond just chat and how pressing it was to make this general purpose. So that's she's getting ready. I think is it launching today? Might be today even. But sometime this week. And so good luck, Cassie. I know this has been a huge labor of love, and wishing you the best. Oh, I forgot to wrap up one thing on Valco's post I think is very, very important. All right, after he casted that, he casted the following. So this is what I mean. What? Tweeted. Sorry, tweeted. He should have casted. He casted, guys. I'm drunk. So thanks, Falco. All of that because you had a few at the bar. So thanks, Falco. I just thought that was funny. And I had forgotten to show it. So moving on, we got a few more things here to share. This was from Six. I loved this meme. One thing first. And for those of you who haven't interacted with Moxie yet, anytime you interact with the frame, it makes you do a math problem. And honestly, there have been times I'm like, really, I can't right now. Can I just want to move on with my life. But sometimes that's what it feels like. It's usually just like 7 + 9, but there are days when it feels like that. So that was funny. This from Ryan Kagi, and I'm not going to read this whole thing, but look at what we accomplished together as community. The latest mission in 2 small towns in the Dominican Republic has just been completed. In addition to renovating the local church in the village of Lecheria, we distributed school supplies in the village of El Bate de Palabe. I am just doing a horrible job. Together, we gave out 350 backpacks to help these kids get started in the school year. So this is a pretty amazing. They have been traveling, and this was a big part of a project they were doing. So fantastic. Great job to that team. This from Stephanie. Glazio's Kitchen is back. This is a spanakopita mini spinach pies. So go check this out. And these are all, 5 minutes or less. She gives you all the info you need, and you can go make your little spanakopita here. So that was pretty cool. Glad to see her back. Again, the lost episode included Stephanie. So speaking of the last episode, this is what I wanted to mention today on this lovely Monday morning. We are just about 3 weeks away from the 1-year anniversary of GM Farcaster, coming up on September 13th. And we made the decision on Friday. This is all Adrian's idea, by the way, to do a 24-hour stream. We are going to intersperse it with pre-recorded content, but we're going to have things running on all of our various platforms for 24 hours, starting at 8:30 a.m. on Friday the 13th, September 13th, and going through the day. And we're planning a whole bunch of fun things on that day. So just like save the date. Everything will be recorded as well, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it. So we started doing some planning on that. And if you are one of our hypersub folks, or if you tend to just be in our chat on a regular basis, we are going to have a little moment for you all. So be ready. Just saying, get ready to bring it. Going to be a lot of fun. So this is, hold on, our latest numbers. So thank you, Adrian, for putting this together. Not bad. So 146 episodes in less than a year, and 6.4 so 6,400 total episodes minted on base, and over 17,000 total listens. You guys are amazing. So we could use some more subscribers on YouTube and Spotify and Apple. So if you use one of those things, go find GM Farcaster and subscribe. We'd appreciate it. So that's pretty awesome. Moving at a steady pace and excited to celebrate with all of you.
Prof, you don't know this, but we have so just for everyone else, Prof and I have a Discord where we curate links and kind of that's where we do a lot of our asynchronous work. I scrolled up into the Discord, into our chat, all the way back to the very first time when you asked, hey, I have this kind of idea, and you don't even need to do anything. You just need to show up and talk about Farcaster. And but I was going back.
Look at that. You should grab
yeah,
that.
And I was pulling screenshots that I'll share with you. But one was about the channel when we launched the channel, and you're like, I created the channel. It's really easy. This is, and
yeah.
And then I remember we were chatting back and forth about how excited we were that we had like 58 people following the channel. It was like, we already have 58 people. Anyway, we have almost 10,000. So
it's crazy. Yeah, we love you all. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. And just as a note too, we're back to getting our paragraph newsletter out. So if you are not a subscriber, you can go subscribe in this frame. It is in the GM Farcaster channel. And lastly, we got this message from Borrow Lucid. What's the best way to support GM Farcaster with Moxie? And my answer is stay tuned because I'm still working on some things. So I actually this day was trying to, we have an @GM Farcaster account on Farcaster, of course. It is not have a wallet connected. So I'm working on getting that done. But of course, when you're trying to use two different accounts with Farcaster, it's complicated and probably one of the reasons that some people churn. So back to Falco's tweet. So there we go. But we'll get there. We'll get there, I promise. And I do want to thank everybody who's been in the chat today. We appreciate you. Yes, it's a GM Farcaster telethon that we're planning. It's exactly it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, we're going to, yes, it is going to be a nightmare for our sleep routines. Absolutely. But we have some tools in the toolkit in StreamYard where we can set things to play. So we will pre-record some of it. So, but we're planning some fun stuff. So it's going to be a really cool celebration, and we're going to be celebrating not just us, like getting to a year, but celebrating all of the builders on Farcaster, everybody who's contributed to our community. So it's going to be a whole bigger thing. So a Farcastathon, yeah, kind of Farcastathon. We'll keep working on the name. We'll keep working on the name. We do need a good name for this. So we'll keep working on that. Adrian, anything else that I may have missed? This actually was a much busier show than I anticipated.
Yeah, not much went on. So we're only 10 minutes over.
Yeah.
We only went 10 minutes long.
It was a slow weekend until Heavyweight got into it on Twitter. And it got a little busier. Okay, well, with that, everybody, we're going to call it there, and we will see you back here on Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. for more GM Farcaster. And with that, bye-bye.